What are some plant systems? Photosynthesis, respiration, transpiration. What are some plant systems? What are some plant systems? Photosynthesis, respiration, transpiration. Respiration, transpiration.
Hello there, dads and moms and boys and girls. It is I, Mr. Tom of the Home Video Variety Show. Yes, we are live today. It is Friday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Maybe it's different from where you are. And hey, we're outside today. We are. It is a beautiful morning here in Florida. And we just had to come outside today, especially because we're going to be talking about plants today. And I really wanted to get surrounded by plants. Now, boys and girls, now I don't know where you live. And hey, if I know you personally and you're watching this, hello, good morning to you. I hope you are doing well. And if you're a boy or a girl that somewhere that I know you from one of our homeschool communities, I hope we run into each other soon. Anyway, well. We are here outside today again because we are talking about plants. Now, as you know, plants do a marvelous job of using their photosynthesis to growing and changing all the things around us to they produce oxygen, right? They take in carbon dioxide and they produce oxygen. So plants are wonderful, wonderful things. Now, my question for you, boys and girls, is do you get outside? Now, I know most of you are homeschool kids, so you probably spend a great deal of time outside, more than the average child does. And again, I don't know what the weather is like for you, but dependent on the time of day and the weather, it is wonderful to be outside here. And going outside here in the morning is one of my favorite things to do, actually, after we finish up our morning chores, after we finish up the breakfast, and coming out here and watering the gardens and feeding the chickens. It's one of the chores I really enjoy doing. Is there chores that you actually enjoy doing, that they really bring you joy? Well, I'll bet there is. And I bet for some of you that you actually enjoy being outside and being amongst plants and flowers. I certainly do. It's something that I really, really like to do. Let's see. Now, as you know, there are many, many, many different types of plants, and they grow in different areas. Now, here in our yard, I've kind of learned over the years, there's sunny parts of the yard and plants that grow well in sunny areas. And then there's plants like over here in the shade. We have the house that's kind of overhanging here. And so there's some plants that thrive in shade, some plants that thrive in sun. And there's little labels at the store that tell you, kind of like this one here. I haven't planted it yet. Often, sometimes I feel like you can tell just because if there's like a darker shade to the leaf. Usually, like if it's a dark green or a dark purple, sometimes that to me is a hint, a sign that, oh, okay, that's a shade plant. But again, at the store, this is not a promo for Home Depot or Lowe's or anything. The store usually will tell you, hey, this is going to grow in sun, this is grow in shade. Or you could be a scientist and say, really? And you could plant this out in the sun and see what happens. Or you could take a sunny plant and plant it in the shade and see what happens. You could be a scientist like that. You could experiment with plant life. That's okay. It doesn't have feelings. Anyway, and see what happens. And you might come to find and realize there's different types of plants that enjoy different types of environments, that thrive in different environments. And today we're going to talk about a very specific kind of plant that thrives in aquatic environments. Now, if you were to take one of your plants here, like the one we were just featuring, and you were just to water it all the time, every day, you just came out here with a watering can, it wouldn't like it at all. In fact, it may start dying off. It would get too much water. Yes, plants do need water to grow. All plants do. But watering it too much would not be good. But that is not so with aquatic plants. They thrive in watery conditions. And now here in Central Florida, we have so many ponds and lakes and streams and estuaries, as you know from Cycle 2. So we have a lot of aquatic plants, and I wanted to feature them today. I went on a kayak trip with my daughter earlier this week, and we filmed a couple of things, and we put together this video of aquatic plants. So here's that video right now, boys and girls. We're going to learn about some aquatic plants. Hey everyone, it's water quality and providing oxygen. Today, we will explore the different types of aquatic plants, their characteristics, and their importance to both nature and humans.
Hold your horses, hold your horses. Ugh, sometimes your horses just want to be held, you know? Anyway, before we begin all this talk, I gotta ask you kids a question. What are some parts of a plant? You know, what are some parts of a plant? Some parts of a plant are leaves, like the leaves here, the stems, and the roots. Leaves, stems, roots. Good.
Types of aquatic plants. Aquatic plants can be broadly categorized into three types: emergent, floating, and submerged plants. Emergent plants, such as cattails, grow partly above the water surface, with their roots submerged in water. These plants often provide habitats for birds and insects. Floating plants, like water lilies and duckweed, float on the water's surface and have roots that dangle into the water. They provide shade and shelter for fish and other aquatic animals. Lastly, submerged plants, such as eelgrass and pondweed, grow entirely underwater and are essential for oxygen production, as well as serving as food and habitat for various aquatic creatures.
Hey there, boys and girls. Here's another question for you. What are some parts of a flower? Some parts of a flower are petal, stamen, anther, pistil. That's right.
Importance of aquatic plants. Aquatic plants are crucial for maintaining the health of aquatic ecosystems. They provide food and habitat for various animals, including fish, frogs, and insects, forming an essential part of the food web. They also help stabilize the sediment at the bottom of water bodies, preventing erosion and maintaining water clarity. By absorbing nutrients and pollutants from the water, aquatic plants play a significant role in improving water quality and preventing problems such as algae blooms. Moreover, they produce oxygen through photosynthesis, which is vital for the survival of aquatic life.
Well, let's take a break again, boys and girls. And can you tell me the answer to this question? What are some parts of a plant cell? A little tough. What are some parts of a plant cell? Some parts of a plant cell are nucleus, cytoplasm vacuole, mitochondria, cell membrane, cell wall chloroplasts, and Golgi bodies. That's the answer.
The human connection. Humans also benefit from aquatic plants in several ways. Wetlands, which are rich in aquatic vegetation, act as natural filters, helping to purify water before it enters rivers and lakes. Many communities rely on these plants for food, as some aquatic species can be harvested and eaten, such as water chestnuts and certain types of seaweeds. Additionally, aquatic plants enhance the beauty of natural landscapes and are often used in landscaping and gardening to create serene and inviting environments.
Hey, we have another question for you. What are some plant systems? There's three of them. What are some plant systems? Some plant systems are photosynthesis, respiration, and transpiration. There they are.
So aquatic plants are vital to both ecosystems and human life. By understanding their types, characteristics, and importance, we can appreciate the incredible role they play in nature. Protecting these plants and their habitats is essential for preserving the health of our water bodies and the diverse life forms they support. As we learn more about aquatic plants, we realize the beauty of God's nature all around us in many different ways, how it provides for us and also shows its beauty.
Hey, last question. What are some leaf shapes? Well, do you know? What are some leaf shapes? Some leaf shapes are linear, oval, lobed, cleft, scale-like, and needle-like. Yep. Hey, nice job for answering our questions. Now I'm gonna go hide in the leaves.
If anyone sees an alligator behind me, can you let me know? And it's so dense, I can't even get to where the water is. I'm trying to just get the water in the background of the shot now. I can't even get... Wait, here we go. Ooh, that was Mike. All right. Well, there's something. Wow, someone lost a shoe. Oh, man. All right. Here we go. Here's some water. All right, let's line this. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that and hope you learned a couple things about aquatic plants. Yes. I filmed that in two different locations. One was at a place called Wilson's Landing, that was here in Central Florida, and in Seminole County, and it comes right into the Wekiva River. Now, the Wekiva River is actually fed by a natural spring. Wekiva Spring is it's water that comes up from deep inside the earth and comes up and then starts flowing its way towards the ocean. Eventually, it goes through the St. Johns River and towards the ocean. Fun fact: people that lived on the St. Johns River last year got really flooded by a hurricane. Hurricane Milton that came through. There was because all the water started to work its way towards the bigger water anyway, and so people got flooded out over there. Even right where I was, probably was underwater last year. But this summer, excuse me, this spring, the water level has been pretty low. So anyway, but we went kayaking out there, and you could really see the abundant aquatic plants that were everywhere. And I took a bunch of photographs and I took a bunch of pictures and video. Some of that was stock footage, of course, but one of the neat things, anytime here when you're in Central Florida, people always say, "Oh, so you've been out on the water? Of course, you're going to see an alligator, right?" And I've seen plenty of gators. Yes, I have. I have been in the water with an alligator just once. Wasn't a very big one. Wasn't what I planned on. We were out actually somewhere swimming in an area that was a lot of people. A lot of people. Usually, when some of these natural springs in the summertime get pretty get pretty crowded from a lot of people. So we were there and it was very crowded. So I didn't expect to see an alligator. It was a small one, probably about 2 or 3 feet in length, but it was one of those, "Hey, is that a stick right there? Let me look closely through the bushes or whatever, through the aquatic plants." And no, it was just an alligator just kind of floating on the water, sitting there, hoping it wouldn't be seen. And I was wishing I hadn't seen it. But anyway, um, so anyway, so that is we did not see any alligators though on this kayaking trip, but we saw plenty of aquatic plants and the birds too. One of the things also living here in Central Florida, that since I didn't grow up here, but we now live here. It's been about 10 years or 12 years actually. We've lived here in Central Florida, and the migratory birds are just wondrous to see because in the warmer seasons, and we get all the South American birds that come up for the more tropical season, and then they go back south. Then they go back into the they migrate south for the winter. And then we get all the northern birds, the usual, things that you'll find, the wrens and cardinals, and yeah, anyway, so it's a wondrous time. As a matter of fact, I'll show. I took a quick video of this. Is a limpkin. This is just the straight video. Let's play it for you. Yeah, it's right in the center of the screen there. I'm moving the mouse around it, but you can't see the mouse. Anyway, it is called a limpkin. Isn't that so loud? What's that going across where we were paddling? Yeah, that bird is called a limpkin, and that's the male, and it makes that loud sound again, trying to attract a female. It's springtime, it's mating season, so there was two of those male limpkins that were calling really loudly across the lake or across the river, and they're called a limpkin. I now understand because of how they walk. They kind of walk through the marshy areas looking for mollusks. Hey, that's one of our groups of invertebrates, right? Mollusks, sea stars, arthropods, right? One of those. Anyway, and the limpkin loves to eat those. That's inside the grass there, and it'll walk along the edge of the river. But it's kind of the way that it walks. It has a limping kind of look to it, so they call it a limpkin. Anyway, and it has that loud sound. Now, actually, it makes that loud sound even at night too during the mating season. So for people that live again in that area, I hope they enjoy that sound at night. All right. Well, that's enough discussion about plants. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, boys and girls, I don't have Mr. Phil here with me today. We're not going to do much in the way of music. It's going to be more talking, but I thought I'd take a musical break and play us the song for what are some parts of a flower. So sing along.
What are some parts of a flower? Some parts of a flower are petal, stamen, anther, pistil, sepal. Petal, stamen, anther, pistil, sepal. What are some parts of a flower? Some parts of a flower are petal, stamen, anther, pistil, sepal. Petal, stamen, anther, pistil, sepal.
All right. Thank you for singing along. All right. Okay. So now, hello there, Dodd family. Hello there. Thank you for watching our program week after week. Thank you. And good job answering those questions, by the way. So, right, I see you are asking a question about all the puppets' names. Yeah, I feel like I should have like a Q&A live stream one time. But right. So all the puppets' names, I was answering. So of course you know Jimmy, right? I mean, I kind of stick him on everything. Jimmy's been my best friend for a long time. We take him on family vacations. Um, he's not the only puppet though, right? As you know, I think we have. I don't even know. I have 4 large tubs in our garage. That 2 of them are filled with puppets, and 2 of them just have different props and things in them. And so those are the home video variety show bins in the garage. It's not very exciting, but that's showbiz for you. And about 20 puppets, I think I have. So as you know, most of them, some of them are not fit to be seen because they're just in not great condition. Other ones, I think I'm still repairing. Um, and then, but let's see. So there's Jimmy, as you know, and then there's the yellow-haired one. I should put up a little graphic. Anyway, but the yellow-haired one with the blue shirt that's got the little Jesus cross on it. That one's Freddie. And then, of course, Grandpa. So those are kind of the 3. And then there's Dennis. He's the one. He's got a yellow face and kind of black hair, sparse on top, and he's wearing a tie. That one's Dennis. And then there's so then there's Lorraine. She's a yellow-haired one that's that I have featured. I think she sings on the way the you're making me go off script here. Sorry, you're gonna get a lot of ums. The video about the ways animals reproduce. What are some ways animals reproduce? Live birth, eggs, fragmentation, budding. That one's Lorraine. And the different things I named. Dennis is named after one of my uncles. Lorraine is named after one of my aunts. And so, anyway, and then but there's a bunch of them. There's a few. I think that even that video we just watched, there's a puppet there that has no name whatsoever, and he has no personality, but he occasionally appears in the background of these things. And I'm just waiting for my children to grow up a little bit more, and then they're just gonna start, because most often it's usually me and doing the character work, and then I have to get tricky with the cameras to make different layers and have them interact with each other. And I'm doing a lot of the voices, so I'm kind of waiting for my kids to grow up a little bit more. So they can start using puppets. And so that's why I still have a lot of on layaway. I have family members that send me puppets sometimes. I'll be like, hey, here's for that YouTube show you're doing. Anyway, so we have a lot of a lot of puppets around the house, and usually, right, Jimmy and Jimmy is my favorite. I literally bring him almost everywhere I go, I think, just in case, something happens or I meet someone or, and they want to meet him or there's something going on and, oh, hey, I could pull out Jimmy and I could film this, or this is a good place to have some poetry or like that. Yes. Anyway, so he's usually, if you ever run into me, I'm at church or at, somewhere else, or usually not at the grocery store, usually not at Home Depot. He's not in my backpack then. But if you were to find me, like again, at choir practice or church or somewhere else, it'd be like, "Oh, can I meet Jimmy?" Yeah, sure, I got him. He's either always in the car or somewhere. Anyway, so that's that's some behind the scenes stuff for you. Um, anyway, yes, I love them all too. So actually, let's hear Jimmy. Let's see. I think I have. Yes, here he is sharing a poem about. I think it's about trees.
Hey everyone, here, a poem, Trees, by Mr. Joyce Kilmer. I think that I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree whose hungry mouth is pressed against the earth's sweet flowing breast, a tree that looks at God all day and lifts her leafy arms to pray, a tree that may in summer wear a nest of robins in her hair, upon whose bosom snow has lain, who intimately lives with rain. Poems are made by fools like me, but only God can make a tree. That's Trees by Mr. Joyce Kilmer. Thanks for listening.
How about now? Sorry about that. I think I muted that real quick. Um, so, boys and girls, now that you have heard about plants, I think that you should read about plants. That's right. You should go to a library. That's right. Don't do this YouTube thing, and and being on a screen. No, forget about that. You're better than that, right? And go to the library. Ooh, especially next week is National Library Week. We're going to be celebrating that a little bit here on our show. But anyway, we encourage you guys to go to the library, check out a book about, again, check out aquatic plants. Find anything in that section. I don't have anything specific for aquatic plants today, but a book I wanted to highlight is Stretch to the Sun by Carrie Pearson. Anyway, and it is a book, of course, about trees, and tells you about a story of survival and strength amongst the tree populations of the United States, and what they. Book has great illustrations, and it also has great history to it. Now, a lot of the books that end up in our house from the library, I will tell you, my wife usually picks up because Sarah Mackenzie usually recommends them. This one I'm not sure of though. I try to give you different ones that follow Sarah Mackenzie. She's great. She's great. She's wonderful. And I'll try to give you different ones too as well, just to add to your box. So I'm not sure if this is one of hers or not, but Stretch to the Sun. Check that out at your local library, and that'll teach you a little bit more about trees and also the story of tree conservation here in the United States. Okay, let's see. So we've read some poetry. We've heard about aquatic plants, and let's see. What should we do now? I think we should hear some jokes from Grandpa. What do you think? All right, here's some jokes. I think he's got plant jokes.
Hey there, everyone! Well, this live stream would not be complete until you have heard some jokes. And since we've been talking all about plants today, I would like to tell you some plant jokes. But before we start, I got a gift for you, Jackson. It's right over here. Here, it's a plant.
Ah, wow.
Here, have that, yeah.
Thank you. You know
Yeah.
what? I would like to,
Yeah, I found it on your
know
shelf, and I thought you might like to have it.
I would like to give you this.
Oh, that looks really sharp. It
Well,
reminds me of my first joke.
oh, it does?
Yes, it does, actually. Why did the cactus cross the road? Because it
I
was
don't know.
stuck.
Why would you?
The cactus crossed the road because it was stuck to the chicken.
Ouch.
Yeah, I know.
That
Ouch.
would hurt.
All right. Yeah, that was a little foul.
That
Okay.
hurt a lot.
How about this one?
Foul.
What kind of? that
Wow.
was an extra one. What kind of plant grows on your hand? You might know this one already.
Oh, I don't know.
Grows on your hand. It's
Ah, a palm tree.
yes.
Yes, I knew that.
Ding 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 ding. It's a palm tree. Okay. All right.
Oh, I have a palm tree.
Now, what do you call a happy mushroom? What would you call a happy mushroom?
Something with fungus.
Yeah, close goes. A fun guy to be with. Fun guy. Okay, here's our last joke, or last riddle, whichever one way you think of it as. Why are plants so good at making friends?
I have no idea.
Because they always root for each other. Yeah, well, thank you for your big laughs. Thanks.
My big.
Anyway, well, boys and girls, if you enjoy those jokes, of course, you can tell them to your mom, your dad, or anybody else you find. And tell them Grandpa sent you. He sent you those jokes. And we'll think of some more for next week. All right, see ya.
All right. Thank you, Grandpa and Jackson, for the jokes. You know, it's always a win when you can get your 13-year-old son to be on a video with a puppet. That's always just a win right there. um, Well, boys and girls, let's see. Yeah, so I see some of you like to go to the library every week. That is terrific. That's my children too. Um, Here in Central Florida, we have a lot of great libraries. But I tell you, one of our most favorite libraries that we actually ever went to was in Wyoming. We lived there temporarily, and it was in Cody, Wyoming. And in the wintertime, there's really nothing going on, and the weather is just terrible. Well, unless you like really, really cold temperature. But so my children, my wife and my children spent a lot of time at the library, at the public library. It was a beautiful building. If you ever are going through Cody, Wyoming, of course, see the Buffalo Bill Museum. And but also check out their public library. Really, really terrific. Anyway, so my wife and children, and I did too. We spent hours there during the cold winter days in Wyoming. But here in Central Florida, we have a plethora of libraries that are just they're great. They're great. As I said, next week is National Library Week, so we're going to be celebrating that a little bit. Now, next week, I actually have to tell you, boys and girls, I probably won't do a live stream. I'll be at a conference. Actually, I'll be at the Ligonier conference, and that's here in Central Florida. So if you are if you're familiar with the Ligonier Ministries and you will be attending the conference, or you live here in Central Florida, if you know who R.C. Sproul is, or enjoy theology or church history or history, that kind of stuff, that's where my brain lives a lot. So I'll be there walking. I'll be there with my oldest son, and just learning. I'm not an exhibitor or anything, but of course in May is the Florida Homeschool Convention, and I will definitely be there all the days for that. And if you live here in Central Florida, or you're planning on coming to Florida for that event, it is a great event. Many great speakers, and you can learn so much. And while you're there, of course, come and see us at the out there on the floor, on the exhibition floor. All the vendors are out there, and people, it's kind of hard sometimes. I sometimes don't like going on the vendor floor because you feel like everybody's trying to sell you something, and so you just kind of have like this, like, you try not to make eye contact with anybody because they're gonna try to sell you something. But we won't. Yes, we'll have a few items for sale, like T-shirts or whatever. But mostly, I'll have the puppet stand, kind of set up, and I just, and I'll just be there puppeteering and talking to kids. It happened last time. We just had a flock of children that just kept they just, either they wanted to be a puppeteer or they just wanted to be entertained. And most of them actually say were children of the other vendors who had nothing to do and just been wandering around for days. Anyway, and so if you are going to be attending that, please come and find us. We'll be there out somewhere out on the exhibition floor, and you just you'll see us. Anyway, let's see. So that's what. So yeah. So next week, I'm not sure if I'll have a live stream. I don't think I will. I may just kind of put up some old pre-recorded videos or something around at this time slot. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this channel. If you have any song requests or anything you'd like to see us talk about, I can talk more about the puppets themselves. Maybe I can make a special live stream and I could talk about the different puppets names or kind of I don't know, a little bit more of the mechanics behind the scenes of what we do. There's really not much to it. I feel like sometimes, when you're putting on a show, everything, when you see all the stuff behind it, you just kind of like, oh, that's it. It's just a bunch of puppets in a container in a garage, and you pull them down, you film them, and yeah, a lot of the magical things tend to happen on the computer, and so it's not as exciting when you see it's just a lot of just kind of let me try it, let me do that take again, let me do that take again. Whoops, I made a mistake, when I was delivering that line, or so many times with the poetry, some of this poetry I'm doing with Jimmy, real tongue twisters in the words themselves. So I'll have to do take after take just to get it just right to where, it doesn't sound confusing or I'm not tripping over words. Children, all that rhetoric. Anyway, boys and girls, thank you so much for joining us here on this live stream. I know it's been, did we miss last week? I think, and we're going to miss next week. And we're coming up to Holy Week, or, Easter, and so we'll have some special video presentations for that too. So you can stay tuned. And thank you so much. I hope you are all doing well. And let's see, it's getting to be April, so a lot of us are going to be finishing up in the next couple of weeks. I know, tutors, it's going to be soon. And you've all done so well. For those of you doing Memory Master, I wish you all the best. You can use our videos and music if it helps you, or do whatever you need to do, of course, to get those facts memorized. And again, thank you so much for joining us, boys and girls. And if I don't know you, have never met you before, I hope someday we will. And if I know you pretty well, I hope we run into each other pretty soon. Okay, now let's see. How do I always finish these out? I say, yes, may you. See, I didn't write it down in my notes because I knew I knew it was like, oh, I just have it memorized. It's the first question: what is the chief end of man? The man's chief end is to love God, is to glorify God and enjoy Him forever. That's what it is. All right, boys and girls, have a wonderful day, and I will see you next week.